Hello friends, we are learning the concepts in Java. Let us go through one more concept in Java, that is interface. In this, we would be dealing about the concept of interface, implementation of interfaces and their examples, and accessing the interface variables. Why the concept of interface has arisen? Actually, Java does not support multiple inheritance concept. That is, it cannot have more than one superclass. But this is an important concept in the object-oriented programming. So, an alternate way has been developed to implement multiple inheritance, that is interface. Defining an interface. Interface is basically a kind of class having methods and variables. Interface can define abstract methods and final fields. As in brief, this means that methods do not have any code to implement and the fields have only constants. Here comes the syntax of an interface. We have interface as the keyword and followed by the interface name, wherein variable declarations and followed by the method declarations. For example, we have an interface named by area. This interface have the variable pi, which is declared as final static float and given the value for the pi. Then there are two methods called float compute and void show. We have seen how to define the interface and how to write the interface. Then how can we implement these interfaces? Interfaces are used as superclasses whose properties are inherited by classes. So we can implement the interface by writing class followed by class name and the keyword implements followed by the interface name, and we can continue the body of the class. We will see a small example how to implement the interface. In this example, we have an interface called the area, which is having a variable called pi and storing a value 3.142 float. Then it has even a method called compute, which returns float and passing variables as x and pi. After the interface, we have a class rectangle. This class rectangle implements the interface area, and in this rectangle we have written the method compute, which has been implemented through the area interface. And next we have a class circle, which is also implementing the area, and even it also has the same method implementing compute. Then we have a class interface test. This interface test class has the main method. In this main method, we have created objects for the two classes rectangle and circle as RECT and CIR. Then we have created a reference to refer the interface area as ARE. Then we have assigned the reference of the interface to the object of the rectangle class. Through this, the compute function, which has been declared in the interface and implemented in the rectangle class, is called. Finally, the result is printed as system.out.println, and given in that the print statement given is area of rectangle. After that, concatenating parameter, and then followed by the calling of function compute. In the same way, object of the circle class is assigned to the reference of the interface and calling the same function compute to find the area of the circle. This is the representation of how to access implementation, accessing the implementation through interface references. Then we come to the partial implementations. In the previous example, you have seen here we have an interface area, and even we have the variable declared in it, and we have only one function in it. If we suppose we have another function called show in the same interface, then the classes here have implemented only one method called compute. They have not implemented the other method show. Then in this case it shows an error, because in the interface whatever the methods are being declared, that should be implemented within the classes. In that case, if a class includes an interface but does not fully implement the methods defined by that interface, then that class must be declared as an abstract class. Then only it will work. We will see an example how to implement the partial implementation of the interface. Taking the same example, but we have included a void show method in the interface area. Same having interface area, and the class here is defined as an abstract class because it is implementing the area interface but only one method. Even similar in the case of the class circle, which has been implementing the area interface but implementing only the one function compute. Here, as rectangle class is implementing area interface but implemented only one method, so remaining methods become abstract methods in the class which are hidden. Then we have the class interface test1, which has been extending the rectangle, so it should implement every abstract method in that class. Hence we have written the void show method within the interface test1 class. Now when we here the interface test1 class extends the rectangle class. Hence assigning the interface test1 class object to the rectangle class object, and then through this we access the compute method. But class circle is not extended by the interface test1 class, so we will assign the interface test1 class object to the reference variable of the interface, and through this we access the compute method. So by this we have seen the partial implementation of the interface. Then accessing the interface variables. Interface can be used to declare a set of constants that can be used in different classes, which is similar to creating header files in C++. The constant values will be available to any class that implements the interface. Like for example, we have an interface A with variables m and n having values 10 and 15. Then we have a class B that is implementing the interface A, and in the class B we have a variable x. This variable x we can assign the value of the interface variable m in this class, and we have a method void method b in the class B. In that method we have used the interface variable n by checking with the size which is the variable of the method B. So by this we can access interface variables. So till now we have learned what an interface is, how to implement this interface, the concept of partial implementation of interface, and the access of